and then Amber, you can just sort of walk in and just, well, she can go sit on that chair again.
Put it the way around this way. Just turn it off. Oh shit. Slide your finger out and then we should get it in.
That's definitely really short, right? I should.
Can I hold that bit there?
Yeah, we thought I've not seen it yet. I don't know, I haven't watched that.
That's better. Lovely stuff. And now if you turn it on. There we go. And then double tap. And then kick in. There we go. So if you hold it like that, and then just right away.
I can see you, I can't hear you very well.
Just get your sound. There we are, Freddie. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Good evening. I say, I don't think you heard me. Yes, good evening. Welcome to 9 Years TV, your fans' TV for Portsmouth today at home. Freddie is joining us from Mexico. Freddie, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm an American in Mexico preparing for a British football game. So you do the math on that one.
Cool. As you can see, joined here by George Jones. George, how are you?
I'm good, how are you doing?
I'm good. And Rob Boyce, how are you?
I'm good, very good, thank you.
Cool. So we are a little short. We had it all set up, and of course the Gremlins just come in, so they'll be looking at my screen. But Freddie, match day. What time is it over where you are?
Right here, it's just about 1 o'clock.
Crikey.
So this is how I'm going to kick off the rest of my day with a AFC Wimbledon win, and then full celebration.
And it looks lovely there, Freddie. What? Go on, make me jealous. How hot is it over there?
For you guys.
How hot is it over there?
Oh, geez. I know what it is in Fahrenheit. George, you're going to have to run the conversion for me. It's 86 degrees Fahrenheit.
So this is the rearranged game, Freddie, isn't it? From before Christmas Boxing Day. What are you thinking today?
I'm feeling confident. I listened to the 9 Years podcast from last week, and I think Nick, who I call it Nickstradamus now, said after a 3-0, a 2-0, and a 1-0, the last one against Morecambe was going to be 0-0. So I think this one's going to be 1-0 in favor of our Dons.
You can go for a 1-0 win.
1-0 win.
George, very quickly.
I think it's obviously going to be a very tough game today. Obviously, controversial circumstances regarding today's game, which we'll talk about later on in the show. But it's going to be a very tough game. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw.
Cool. And the reason I've got the headphones on is simply because I'm the only person who can hear Freddie. So all the things Freddie's saying about George and Rob, we won't be able to hear until later. George, I just want to check, have we, as a team, you've gone out yet? Because we do have a special guest.
Yeah, the team news is allowed to go out.
Yeah, so we got team news here, and we had a special guest earlier, Rob Tuvey, to give us. And I just want to say very quickly, he looked like he was giving a presidential speech when he done that. So let's just quickly see the team news for today.
Evening, everyone. Welcome to today's game. I hope you have a great evening. This evening's lineup will be in goal, Nick Zanev, right back, Shay Alexander. Two centre halves will be Dan Shocker and Will Nightingale. Left back, Paul Sue. In the middle and midfield will be Alex Woodyard and George Marsh. Luke McCormack will be playing just in front. On the wide areas tonight, we'll have Dapo Mabude and Jack Rudoni. We'll have Ollie Palmer up top. Subs for the Dons tonight will be Zaki Ulia, Nesta Guinness-Walker, Ethan Chislett, Terry Ablade, Aaron Toz, 3 points for you at the end. Come on, you Dons.
Freddie, again, I've got to make sure the mute button turns off here in Plough Lane. Freddie, any surprises there from Rob Tuvey?
I'm back. No surprises. You know, I think a lot of people have suggested maybe we need to go 2 up front, but I do feel like the ball is being controlled with our 4 in the middle. And so no major surprises, but I'm hardly the football expert here. So what do you guys think?
Superb. Okay, well, Freddie, so what you're gonna stay and watch the game a bit later? You staying watching it on iPhone over there in Mexico?
I'm gonna stick around. So I think I'll be tuning in by radio today. The sweet, sweet sounds of our W Don team.
Definitely. Well, Freddie, thank you very much for joining us. Sorry it's a bit short and sweet. How are you, just very quickly, how are you enjoying your experience on the Dons Trust board? Obviously, you've been getting involved early on.
Yeah, I love it. It's been great so far. The Dons Trust is such a hardworking, passionate group. And even more excited about coming out to Plough Lane a week from Saturday, and then for the next Tuesday game after that. So I look forward to seeing everyone in person.
Brilliant. It'll be really good to see you, Freddie, and we'll definitely see you when you come over.
Excellent.
Cool. We'll let you go. Don't get too hot over there. Don't get too much for suntan. Not jealous at all. It's freezing here at Plough Lane. But yeah, good to see you, and we'll see you soon.
Sounds great.
We'll let you go, Freddie. So, George, team lineup.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I think it's, obviously some of the changes are enforced. Obviously, the news about Ben Hennigan is very disappointing, especially considering the circumstances around the postponement of this game originally on the original date in December. So, very disappointing to lose a very important player. And then I think it's squad rotation with Dapo Mabude replacing Ayu Basal. But I think both of those changes were perhaps predictable, but it's a very exciting lineup. And the subs bench, we've got a lot of attacking flair if we need to make changes later on in the game to try and salvage something. So I think it's a very positive team.
Brilliant. And we're just looking through, we've got your messages in here at the moment, so welcome Shitstone. Put 50p in the lecky. Turn the lights on. The lights are on, and I do apologise if you really are praying you don't get a glare, but if you do, then we do apologise. But like I say, send in all your notes. Send in all your messages. If you're listening from abroad, definitely let us know. And as we get that in, George, do you want to quickly go through his, how he's played at the moment?
Yeah, as we're just trying to line up that video for you, he's been an absolutely key player for us this year, and I think that's, obvious for everyone to see. His stats, he's up there leading us in terms of minutes played. That's not exactly a surprise, but it's just the way he's played, his consistency. I know some people will say he's perhaps been at fault for 1 or 2 goals so far this season, but I think he has actually been overall a very, very good keeper, probably one of the better goalkeepers in League One, and I think we're very fortunate to have him. And I think, the stats that you're seeing now actually, reflect that. His saves, his and all of the stats like that are really, really impressive, and I think it's something that... What time did you set your alarm clock this morning?
Woke up around 8 o'clock, in for around 9:30. usually stretch out in the morning a little bit, do a bit of core work, depending on what time we go out, and have a little bit of breakfast at the club. Come out to train, smash a session out with Bezo, as always. Then we usually have a little bit of gym work after that, and then depending on the day, usually analysis or some type of team meetings to prepare for the weekend.
So when you're waking up in the morning, are you the type of person that has a lie-in, or are you normally straight up and out as soon as the alarm goes?
I'm usually straight up and out. Don't really like to lie in too much. Even on my days off, I don't really like to lie in. I like to get up, do something with my day, you know. And unless we're back late one evening on a Tuesday night game, but yeah, I'm usually up early, out the door quite quickly as well. Have a little coffee on the go, and then come in.
You mentioned earlier, when you get into the club, you do actually have breakfast here. What's that like normally? What are the players having?
Yeah, just a bit of toast. There's a bit of porridge, cereal, a bit of fruit, just pretty basic stuff. But it just helps you keep going. Especially if we got lunch a little bit later in the day, it helps a lot. Yeah, it's lucky.
So when you're on the way in, are you listening to any specific music or?
Yeah, music, and then sometimes I listen to the Joe Rogan podcast on Spotify, so I quite enjoy that one. So sometimes that, and then I switch it up.
Do you have a specific favourite type of music and favourite artist that's on the rotation a lot at the moment?
I like Tory Lanez in the minute quite a lot, but anything just R&B, house, depending on what mood I'm in, I quite like any music, to be honest with you. So yeah, it's just depending on the day and the mood.
One of the things that Robbo's introduced here is obviously the big speakers in the changing rooms, allowing you guys to all pick a different song each. What did you pick?
It's called Heard It All Before by, I can't remember the artist's name, but yeah, it's a bit of a house song that gets a bit more upbeat, ready for the game.
Obviously, as a footballer, you have a fair bit of downtime, sadly, in the afternoons and evenings. Is there anything you've watched recently on Netflix or any movies?
On Netflix, yesterday I actually watched The Big Short, so I'm quite into that, just trying to learn a bit more outside of football, just to do something completely different, sort of just to take my mind off it when I'm away from the club. So yeah, just Netflix, Narcos, the Mexican Narcos, I just finished that, so yeah, I really enjoyed that, but no.
Now, one thing that's fairly sort of all differentiates between footballers, some love watching football on Sky, BT, others are not. Are you a big fan of watching it on TV?
Yeah, I watch it from time to time, but I don't think I wouldn't say I'm like a football fanatic, you know. I don't go home and just watch hours of one end of matches like on a Sunday. I usually watch like big games, but apart from that, sort of just focus on what we do and the analysis we do, and that's most of the football I watch, to be honest.
Do you have a favourite pundit when watching on TV?
Not really. I probably don't watch it enough to have a favourite one.
Now, obviously, we've had a couple of away games in a row. So, when we're travelling to away games, do you often vary who you sit with, or is it always the same type of people?
Yeah, I think it's similar. I think we're all quite close. Everyone can sit with anyone, have a conversation with anyone. So I think that's quite a good dynamic of the group. And yeah, but usually on away trips, I'm usually sitting with Knightsy because we've got quite similar interests, and we sometimes play cards with Che and Chiz. So that's a good one as well, just to fill up the time a bit. But
anyone any good at cards there, or are you all much of a muchness?
I don't know. I think we win a bit. Chiz likes to think he's number one, obviously, but no, he usually gets beat.
Now, some slightly random questions, and you can tell Stuart Deakins has written these ones.
Yeah.
On your way for away trips, do you have a particular favourite motorway service station?
No, because usually I just come to the training ground, to be honest. So I usually just come here and then get the coach from here, and then for our further away trips, it's always usually Euston and stuff when we travel up north with the train. So no, I haven't got a favourite station.
Now, but obviously on those longer away games, the players are often staying overnight. Has there been a particularly memorable away trip in terms of the overnight stay?
Yeah, I think Lincoln away stands out last year because it wasn't just players, it was a couple of fans. Mikey T was there, and it was just really good just to get it was a real togetherness we had there on that last game, because obviously we could relax a bit because we knew we were safe. And I think that's one of the memorable ones. Robbo singing one of our songs, so yeah, it was everyone getting involved, so yeah, it was a very good vibe and enjoyable away trip.
One of the things that I think a lot of fans want to know an awful lot more about on those away trips, the initiation songs. This season, I think it's fair to say there's been some very memorable ones, including some from the coaching staff.
Yeah.
Is there any that stand out so far this year? Good or bad?
Simo for sure, hands down. I don't even have to think about it. Simo's was quality. He made up a song I know it's sort of an internal song, and we're just singing it, and yeah, it's quality, and it's stuck quite well. Like after every win, we get it going. So no, that's been good, but mostly bad ones, to be honest with you.
Anyone you want to put in it there with any particularly bad initiations?
I don't know. Maybe Eggy, the amount of initiations he's actually had at this club, he should be better than them by now. But no, he's alright.
Now, we always end these interviews with 9 quick fire questions. So these are going to be either or. So you just need to say the first thing that comes into your head.
Okay.
So the first one: wine or cheese?
Wine.
Australia or South Africa?
South Africa.
Sum 41 or level 42?
Say again?
Sum 41 or level 42?
Level 42.
Nick Knowles or Nick Knowles?
Nick Knowles.
Tom Holland or Toby Maguire?
Tom Holland.
VAR, yes or no?
Yes.
If Jet from Gladiators was to host a barn dance at Yeovil Aerodrome, would you go even if it risks turning into an all-night rave?
Probably, yeah.
And the big question,
Yeah.
when you're making a cup of tea, bag first or milk first?
Bag first, 100%.
Correct answer, Nick Zanev. Congratulations for staying at the club with that answer, and thank you for joining us.
Cheers, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Take
you.
it easy.
Brilliant. Cheers, Nick.
Is it Brown?
Yeah.
There
There you go. Just double check that.
Yeah, he had a.
Because Hackett played Paul in the last game.
And there we go, interview with George down the ground and Nick Zanev. Socially distanced. Looked like we actually had a joke. Actually, one of the guys was saying, looked like we had like a little like a power lead into him, didn't we? Where we had his lad mic. But he's done well this season, George.
Yeah, no, Nick's been an outstanding goalkeeper for us this year. It's a position where we've relied on loanies heavily over the last few years. So it's great to finally get one of our own come through, claim that spot and make an impression. Hopefully we won't be without him too long in the upcoming Oceania World Cup qualifiers.
How have you gone to the World Cup from that, Nick?
Just wanted to mention it.
I have no idea how we ever got to that.
I have to link it somehow.
So we are joined by the PO4 podcast, Pompey podcast, who I was fortunate enough to be invited on recently, so thank you guys for that.
Yeah.
You and, sorry I forgot your name again. So
Andy.
So guys, first time to Plough Lane?
It's for me. Yeah, I think you spent quite a lot
You
more
did,
time
yeah.
here than me.
Just
Yeah.
started with the refurb, but I'm here as an actual football fan now.
Hey, that's
There
a
you
good
go.
one. That's a good one.
Yep.
What's your experiences so far?
You go first.
It's like Peaky Blinders vibes. But I think that's mostly the Portsmouth contingent, to be fair, who are visiting. But yeah, it's you can tell it's been done up fairly recently. It's coming from somewhere like Fratton Park, which has got a very different type of attraction to it.
Yeah.
You always notice on away days some of the slightly more modern tweaks that we haven't quite got around to yet, but obviously there are strengths and weaknesses to both sides of that.
But Fratton Park's a great ground in terms of, I don't know about you, but I'm very much, I hate the old new modern grounds. They all look the same bold sort of side. Yeah, unfortunately, I go back to like Southampton and Adele when it was just an absolute. I don't know who designed that ground, but
I mean,
of course,
Let's
Southampton.
not get into
you-
that.
you-
I've
you
got
can
jokes,
talk
but
What a
Yeah.
you know what? I was
Yeah,
actually
right.
thinking the Southampton league was a clever one.
we were hoping you did.
I'm not sure that's one for this show, really.
And I'd be sure if I did do that deliberately, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that horrible. But yeah, there's a lot of old grounds like Ayresome Park and that sort of side of it. So team news today. What's in store for your team? Any changes at all?
Well, yeah, it's a little bit different. Obviously, we've got Carter come in at centre back, which is nice, and Blackburn from loan, looking decent. Freeman struggled quite a lot at right centre back. We've got someone in who's not a right back, because Freeman obviously came out was playing right back into centre back. Had a few awful games. Carter's done really well. Looks good at Blackburn. Highly rated. He got 4 goals as well in the second half of one season in League One.
Yeah.
So he could be a set piece threat as well. That's quite interesting as well. And up front.
Yeah, so Walker's coming up front as well, and that is a complete unknown quantity for us. It looks like he struggled a little bit in the Championship with Coventry, but his goal return in League One previously, working with the Cowleys at Lincoln, was sort of, I think it was 1 goal every 2 games. It was 14 and 29 or something along those lines.
Yeah.
So a bit of an unknown quantity for us, but has a track record of delivering at League One level. Maybe struggling a bit taking the step up, but that's a problem we'll be very happy to have if we do make that step up at the end of the season.
Yeah, and he did well. He did well under Cowleys at Lincoln, who are not doing so well at the moment in that sort of case.
And I've got to say, obviously played your favourite club in the world, played MK. Unfortunately lost, but Freeman gave a goal away by playing the most beautiful cold pass. If it was to a striker, that would have been absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately, it wasn't. Put Mo Ister in, ends in a goal. Now we've got 3 really good centre backs. You've got Ogilvie as well and Raggett, who are obviously very good players, especially at this level. So you've got a real 3 who can pass out from the back. Pompey will play 2 wing backs. they'll try and push forward. Marlon Romeo from Millwall on loan is a very good player. He's very rapid going forward as well. Joe Morrell in the centre, always plays Wales, so people will see him play against the likes of Kevin De Bruyne. He's tenacious, he'll get the ball moving, he'll get it ticking. And then Louis Thompson as well, very good midfielder. He starts in. He's had some injury concerns. When he's playing and when we keep him fit, he's very good. And unfortunately for you guys, he's going to be very good today as well. Marcus Harness in the little 10 role there. 10 goals in the league. I think we'll say 10 anyway, playing for us. He's dynamic, he's got quick feet, he'll split the defence, he'll look for passes as well. But he scored some game winners, and as you guys know, scored the game winner at Fratton Park.
Definitely. So the worst thing about inviting away fans on is actually you don't think, oh crikey, it's going to be a tough game on that sort of side.
You say a tough game. Again, it's been a struggling start really to the start of the season, start of this year anyway for Portsmouth.
Yeah. So I'm looking in terms of last 5. Obviously, you lost up against Milton Keynes, Cambridge, beat Exeter in the. You're still in that competition now, aren't you?
No. So one of the Cambridge games the week following that was the next round, and then we sort of quietly exited that with a bit of a whimper. But I think
any disappointment in that break?
No, it's more. I mean, we had a few games cancelled because of COVID. I think our last game before Christmas was on, was it the 12th, Morecambe?
Yeah, 12th at home.
And we had a couple of games cancelled because of COVID after that, in terms of squad outbreaks, and we've really struggled to hit the ground running a little bit after that break, and that's what's been the most disappointing thing. I mean, Pompey fans are quite well known for not caring too much about the Papa John's Trophy until you actually get to the final. Then we just pack Wembley.
Suddenly everyone's going again, right?
Exactly.
It's all of a sudden important then, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. But I think that more of a concern is the fact we've struggled to pick up momentum after that little break because of the COVID outbreaks. So that's probably our biggest concern, I think, coming into this game.
Is that what you're seeing at the moment then? Because in terms of, obviously we had a game postponed against yourselves, we lost a game against Charlton and against Plymouth. We found it very difficult coming back in terms of we've lost 3 goals. How does your team look? Does it look sharp? Because we felt we've lost a little bit of edge.
We looked all right till the final third.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say as well that against MK, if you look at all the stats, expected goals, ratios, all that kind of stuff, Portsmouth were the better team, but you're not the better team if you don't win. And unfortunately, when you look at it, I know me and Andy have a different view on analytics.
Yeah.
I'm sure your listeners people will. Maybe I'm a little bit more focused on that. Andy's maybe a little bit less. It's interesting. His job involves loads of stats, so a bit of time off from work. But if we converted those chances, you would have got our centre back missing from sort of 6 yards.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it could have been a different story. So I think the last game was improved massively from where we were.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So in terms of one of the players that I've been looking from afar, excellent season. Gavin Bazunu.
Yeah.
Great loan signing that, isn't it?
Really, he's sort of stood out. Him and Joe Morrell, I think, have been the Cowley's big sort of, really impressive that they've brought in these players who have come in partly because of their name amongst anything else. And I think we were all quite concerned when we lost Craig McGillivray at the end of last season.
Yeah.
And he was, one of the League One players of the season last year and was a standout player in the Pompey squad. And there was a lot of concern there, but the Cowleys have brought in a goalkeeper that potentially suits their style a little bit more in terms of playing out for the back, not being afraid to sort of face against a high press and then play through that high press. And so with his feet, with the exception of one mistake against, I think it was Ipswich when he got the ball taken off him, other than that, Bazunu has shown himself to be really adept playing in that style. And as a shot stopper, I mean,
it's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal.
You can't help but be impressed with that.
No.
It's interesting though, isn't it, with goalkeepers now that are to play from the back. I don't know about you, but I see so many goals now from people trying to play stupid passes. We had a situation at Milton Keynes where we try to play up from the back and you lose goals on that. Is he very good with his feet then?
Yeah,
a lot of attacks and stuff come from him.
Yeah, I mean, Bazunu will actually play as a third defender or a fourth defender of the 3 at the back, who will allow the centre back to split basically.
Yeah.
Pep Guardiola says he's the long-term theory for replacing Edison. He's the Ireland #1 international Young Ireland Player of the Year. He famously stopped that penalty against Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, George reminded me of that.
It's a cliche thing to bring up, but all round, he's an absolutely fantastic player, and he's actually really crucial and underpins how we play because everything starts from him and goes through him from the back and passes out, which allows everyone else to get forward and get out.
That's how a lot of teams work. Even we're playing that, and we're Wimbledon.
Yeah.
In terms of so that's the party style.
We had a bit of a shock, didn't we? I think it was first game of the season was against Crewe.
Yeah.
And we sort of looked up. We had a corner, and Bazunu was sort of stood in the centre circle, and I think half of us had a heart attack in the front. We weren't used to seeing that. But it was a style that he's adapted to very, very quickly. And as a shot stopper, I'd say he's probably I can't think of a better shot stopper since David James. I don't say that lightly.
No. And that's why we highlighted him, because
Yeah.
whenever I've seen him, I've been really impressed.
Yeah.
And then thinking, how the hell did you get that sorted out? That's a real bit.
Indeed.
How are you and how Cowley's getting on? How are you? 'Cause new style, that sort of thing. Have the Pompey fans settled now to Cowley?
I think so. Sorry, Johnny,
I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest, we had like a 15 players coming this season. There was a lot of dead wood that's been cleared out. Obviously now in January, the likes of John Marquis has now gone to Lincoln. Ellis Harrison, he's gone to Fleetwood. We're trying to pull Downing, now has gone to Rochdale. These guys on high, big contracts. He weren't making any impact to the team really, Stu. So get rid of those players. Now bringing in the players that Danny Cowley likes. The fans are really behind him. Okay, we're playing great football. No more long ball football. And you guys are the same sort of thing as us. Just to flip it round quickly, because if you look at the pressing stats in the league, Pompey are top of the pressing stats table. Wimbledon, I think, are 4th or 5th roughly. Stu, I'm sure you can correct me on where that is.
No, we're not far off that.
It's going to be a team where both teams want to press on the front foot. It should be a really exciting game, and I reckon probably quite a lot of goals.
Yeah, I'm against that. I'll give you. We had Morecambe obviously on Saturday. We beat them 4-3. You're not convinced of that, are you?
I'll say that.
I'm going to be sound. We had Morecambe on Saturday. We beat them 4-3 previously at their place. We had their guys down and talking about it. No one could see a goalless draw. Goalless draw. So
I say that now. Everyone watching's getting really excited, Stu, and then it turns around and it doesn't happen.
We do this pre-game, though, don't we? We get hyped up and then it's
That's
a
it.
drab game.
We are both pressing teams. I think it's probably a case of who wants to go with that press, because in terms of we try to press them on Kings, they've been partial off the park, to be fair, with that sort of side of it. So I think you'll be right. I think it's who presses the most on it.
I think that's really interesting, the way that Pompey, we kind of welcome the press that we also do ourselves.
Yeah.
So we kind of like, come on, do your thing, press against us, we'll play through you, but also we try and do exactly the same thing at the other end of the pitch.
Yeah.
And I think it's quite interesting that the Cowleys back themselves to have the tactical nous to defend against it, but they back themselves to coach it well enough that other teams can't defend against it. And I think that's one of the really interesting things with Pompey at the moment.
And it can take a little while to get perfect. We've been down here, we've seen goals given away, and you're like, but it's that thing, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? You get fresh, you've got pressing numbers on that sort of side. So just literally, we've got Tom Large who's wandering around our fan zone at the moment, so that's probably why you see some random person walking around there. So Tom is down there, he's going to stop some fans. This is our fan zone at the moment, so we've basically it's just behind this down here.
Okay.
Loads of stuff, like pies, sausages.
We can go get ourselves a beer after this, can we then?
Well, you can't go in that bit, but there is stuff behind you. We've got a little bit behind you. Before we let you go, predictions. What are you thinking here tonight?
I'm going to go 2-0 Pompey. I think it's. I think we're actually looking good now after the MK game. I think it was a bit of a struggle, getting back into it now. But I expect us to kick on from that. It's disappointing. But I actually think Pompey will get a 2-0 win today. I think we'll get Marcus Harness is a key player for us. I think he'll get one of the goals. And I'll leave the other one ambiguously out there just to make me more right.
Well, guys,
I'll go 2-1 Pompey. Just I can't come here and predict a defeat, can I really? But I do think potentially a little bit susceptible at the back, because we've got a new centre-back trio starting together who haven't played in the game before. There is scope there for an error. Obviously, we hope not, but it would be understandable if there was.
Definitely.
And we've been a little bit slow attacking in the final third, so if we've got that sharpness back, then potentially I'd obviously snap your hand off for a 2-1 win.
Yeah, definitely. But look, guys, really appreciate you joining us here. You can see behind you the Pompey fans are starting to fill up, so I'm sure it's a full house with the Pompey following, isn't it? On that
Street,
side of it.
been a pleasure. Thanks for inviting us on.
No problem at all. It's always good to chat, and I feel now worse. I'm a bit more worried now. You give me the
That's
lowdown
exactly what we were hoping
on that. But guys, thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.
Awesome. Thank you.
There you go.
Good to see you.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
Take care, and I'll let you out. Rob, that was interesting. Rob, George, that was interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's obviously, we raised a lot of obvious points about, today isn't going to be an easy game, no matter what we say. Obviously they did have a disappointing result for them at the weekend, but I think it is going to show just the amount of talent they have. They've got obviously, they've got the successor to Edison in goal, a Republic of Ireland international, and they're a League One team. And I think that really puts into perspective the challenge we're going to face today.
And that's why I mentioned it. It's a real mad one. And Anne-Marie's just joined us. Anne-Marie, come and join us in. Anne-Marie's just joining us midweek, as you can appreciate. Basically, whenever people can get here. Rob, you want to come and join us? Why not? I don't know if you heard too much about that, but do you know what? I think this away team slot is good. It worries me though, because they talk so well about their team. But then after Saturday, How many goals were we going to get on Saturday, or what was it going to
I
be?
think we were all predicting 3 to 4s, weren't we?
We jinxed it. We're saving our goals for tonight, Stu. That's what it is.
I mean, you did say, we've jinxed it now, so it's going to be a 0-0, and then it happened. So I fully blame you. I think they've got a lot to be optimistic about. To be fair, not doing us any disservice, but where they are. They've won 3 in the last 6. They've been a reasonably good position in the table for them. I think at the start of the season they probably would have liked to have been a bit higher than where they are.
Yeah.
Boyce and I were just chatting off screen about some of they lost a couple of players today in the transfer window. Is that right, John?
Yeah, they lost Marquez, who's obviously been a big player for them over the years.
Just going to try and dial in. We've got Tom Large, who is out and about around the ground. There we go. Tom, if you are listening to me, we will take. I can see his people's legs at the moment. But yeah, John, here we are. I'll let you go.
Sorry, if you can hear me when you're invited.
Tom, I can just about hear you.
Score prediction for tonight. We're scoring a lot of goals. The last 3 games with goals. Right, say the last 30 minutes of the second half. Last game. If you look at a lot of the quicker, I'd like to see South from the second half. First half, I'd like to stay goal as like we did last time. Obviously, we're all going back now. We're a bit of luck. The South will come on. The last 20 minutes. Give it out what counts for what? 2-0. 5 points clear for relegation and ahead of the table. Appreciate it, mate. Good.
Tom, thank you very much. I'll let you go and find someone else while we do that. We're going back to the studio. So what are you thinking today, then? What?
I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. I do think another score draw. I know all the Don Sands listening at home want us to win, and I know that's probably sitting a bit on the fence, but not so far a good side, got to give them a bit of respect, and we ain't on the best of form. I mean, we've started the year with a clean sheet and a draw, so it is something to build on today. But yeah, I think I'd be happy with a 1-1 draw, to be honest with you. I don't know how you guys in the studio feel.
I would take that absolutely. We played them twice this season already, so once at their place and then the Papa John's Pizza Cup. And they're both good games. So we obviously are able to up the level against a really good side. So I would definitely be happy if that was the final score from my point of view. But
yeah, I think we'd all take a point today. I think that's fair to say. But one of the things that I'm really excited about today is it will be the first time this year that we played a team that's going to actually try and open us up and try and play expansive attacking football, and that suits our game. I mean, obviously we've got Dapo Mabude up front, Rudy, Ollie, all of these players. They're going to find a bit more space today than they've had over the last few weeks, and that's the sort of thing that's going to really help us. We're at our best when teams come at us, and I think that's going to play into our hands today. But it's still going to be a very tough game.
Cool. So going through the team lineup. Sorry, Nick Zanev in goal. No surprise there.
Yeah, no surprise there. Bit of a running considering the feature we've done on him. So
I can just see there Tom has found some fans there. Tom, I'm going to literally just joining over to you so you can quickly go while we discuss the lineup. Tom, there you go.
Fantastic, thank you, Stu. We're joined by Adam. Mark.
Cool, thank you very much, Tom, and I will leave you to find some other fans, find it out there. Let's just quickly go through then. So, George, you want to go through the centre halves?
Yes, obviously we've got Nick Zanev in goal. The centre halves today, Will Nightingale, then the enforced change of Dan Shoker, replacing Ben Hetnigan, who's out due to COVID, and Marie. What do we think about that?
I saw this on my lunch break today about Mr. Hennigan. I was gutted, and I wish him all the best. I hope he's not too affected by this. Obviously, it's a big loss. That challenge on Saturday that he made at this end of the stadium was unbelievable. He's going to be a big loss tonight. But I've got full confidence in Shoka standing up and making a claim for that spot. It's a big opportunity for him.
Rob, how big an opportunity is it for Dan Shoka today? Obviously, Paul Kalambai signing his new contract last week. He's obviously here for the long term. Will Nightingale, long-term future as well. Ben Hennigan cementing his place in the team. How important a game like tonight where Dan does get a chance be impresses?
Yeah, good opportunity for Dan Shoka tonight to stake a claim in the team. I know a few fans criticise him on the Rotherham performance, but I think since I've seen him, I think he's been quite solid, and a player that potentially can improve with game time, and tonight's a fantastic opportunity for him to get that 90 minutes.
And at wing back today, obviously we've got.
So George typically managed to go to wing backs when I just found a centre half. So thank you, George, for that. But yeah, we go to the wing backs.
Yeah, so obviously the wing backs today. Obviously we've got Shea Alexander on the right, Paul Losser at the back. On the left, sorry, no change there from the weekend. Anne-Marie, how impressed were you by especially Paul Losser at the weekend?
I put it all down to his sock sponsor, personally. I
Without
would
a
say,
doubt.
yeah.
Without a doubt.
No, he's brilliant, and he adds that different dimension to the squad. I know he's had a bit of a mixed bag of form over the last few games, but I think Saturday for him, he's the kind of player that could catch a team like this out, because they're still getting to know how to defend against him. And he has so many different qualities. I just hope he's got the confidence to bring that to the game tonight. Yeah.
Definitely. So in midfield, Alex Woodyard and sorry, I keep laughing at the picture. I should stop laughing. It's not silly. Anyone looks at George Marsh's picture, he looks a complete. Well, you wouldn't want to get him on the wrong side of him on that side of. Just saying that actually they weren't team were coming out. I've been out for a little while. Rob, what are you thinking? Same as before. How do you think they performed on Saturday?
You know what? I think George Marsh slotted in well on Saturday. Considering he hasn't had much game time this season, I think he's done very well. Had a couple of long range shots. I felt quite confident. I felt George Marsh is a bit more defensive minded than Andy Hartigan and might have potentially helped with that clean sheet on the weekend. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that partnership again tonight. I'm not worried by them two at all.
Marie, how do you think it went?
I think he was absolutely lovely in his interview compared to the picture you've got there. He's a lovely lad. I thought he was brilliant. He had big boots to fill, and he steadied the ship. I thought it's same as Robbie. He made some really nice passes out there, and he sounded confident and optimistic that he's got a lot more to come. So yeah, really pleased for him.
George, midfield three change there, isn't it?
Yeah, big change there. Obviously, Basal drops to the subs bench. We assume that's just a squad rotation. So Dapo Mabude comes in to start alongside Luke McCormack and Jack Rudoni. Those three are so important to our game tonight. They're going to be creating space out wide. Luke McCormack's going to have to be the creative spark in midfield without Anthony Hartigan. But it's interesting what they were saying, what the Portsmouth fans were saying earlier with the fact that their full-backs bomb up, their centre-half strike right. That could just create a bit of space for Dapo Mabude to get inside and exploit. So I think those three have got a massive role to play if we're going to get any points from today's game.
Definitely, and then if we go up into the top line, Ollie Palmer. Where do we start? Now, I'd rather let you go first. You wanted that like a square pass, didn't you?
Thanks for that. It's nice to see he's still here, to be fair, and he's not over in Wales, so that's a good start. But yeah, no, Ollie Palmer, like I said, we don't have many options up front. I like the look of Terrier Blade when he came on, but he's probably not match fit yet. So might get the last maybe 20 minutes today, hopefully. But yeah, I think Ollie Palmer's integral to what we do. He holds up play, he draws defenders, pins them back, links up play. So it's not just about his goals. And to be fair, he nearly scored against Morecambe, didn't he, from 6 yards out. It was a good save by Trevor Carson. So hopefully he can get back amongst the goals today.
Yeah, obviously we're going to discuss it. Anne-Marie, where do you think we are with that? Rumoured that they've come back in, Wrexham have come back in with a bid. Do you think we have a setting point? Do you think we're close to it?
I think if they have come back with a new offer, I think that does change the picture completely. I think from where we were talking about this on Saturday, I know Morecambe fans were in a similar situation where you're looking at, do you lose the player and the repercussions of that on your position for the rest of the season, kind of weighing that up. But obviously if they come back with a different offer and it's higher, that changes the situation, especially as Rob was just saying before we came on air, that he came to us for a free, so that changes the whole angle.
Yeah.
It's a really difficult dynamic. But in terms of Ollie tonight, they're a physical team. He's a physical striker. We've got him up front for tonight. Let's take it game by game, I guess, at the minute. But
yeah.
It's
a weird one, isn't it? Because during the transfer window, it's one of those, isn't it? If there is interest, does he go in for the tackles? Does he play full-heartedly? Because equally, we know he's had injuries and stuff like that. So it's a real difficult one. Do we want to chance it? Because let's be fair, if the rumours are true, and we don't know if they are true, that's a hefty transfer fee. George, I'm going to pop it to you. Yeah. Would you sell? Would you not sell?
I think it all comes down to the money, because obviously if it's £100 million, then you probably sell. But I think there's an amount there that I think we're not quite there yet from what the rumours that have been sort of circling around online. I think personally he's a very, very important player to us, and as we all know, target men are not easy to fund in the current market, especially January. That's why Wrexham are offering the money they are. So I do think we're in a position where we should try and keep hold of him if we can.
Well, there's the argument, isn't it? Do we sell early? And again, this is hypothetically, if we were to sell, do we sell soon? Because actually, we've got to get a replacement, haven't we?
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, obviously, we've got a couple of younger players, totally different kind of players to Ollie, and a target man like George is saying is really, really rare. Is it a case of if he goes, we would have to change a lot of the kind of attacking dynamic of the squad? We'd have to change the way we play. There are so many different repercussions on a player leaving, especially a key person like Palmer. But I thought a blade on Saturday looked really, really sharp, really exciting. I think a few fans said that online as well. So maybe we just change slight route, change the way we do things.
Definitely.
Work around it.
And as we can see, Tom is still stalking people down. Where is he down? He's down in the East Stand now. We're having a little bit of a problem with the sound. Let me just quickly go and see if it's working. Let me just go.
All my life, lifelong Dons fan.
Score prediction for today.
I'm going to go positive, and I'm going to go 3-1 to the Dons.
Goal scorers?
Rudy Rudy's playing. 2 for Rudy, 1 for Palmer.
I love it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry about that. Tom finished quicker than what I thought. I thought I told him at least do a minute feed, but he didn't do that. Let's just quickly go then on to the finishers. Yes, they are finishers. I'm going to get told off for that. I know Nick Draper will be telling me off straight away with that. George, want to go through?
Yeah, so obviously the first finisher, Zakiwala, no surprise there, sub goalkeeper, incredible servant at the moment, just doing what he has to do and just be ready in case he's called upon. And a very attacking look to the rest of the bench with Nesta Guinness-Walker, Ethan Chislett, Egley Karja, tongue-tied there, apologies for that, Aaron Cosgrove, and I've completely lost my place. Are you Basal and Aaron Cosgrove, the other subs?
This is hilarious. We have later in the story, Bob Tooley come into it, our soldiers give us team news, and it took about 3 or 4 takes.
Yeah.
He kept forgetting what the players were. And then he kept forgetting what they were called, because of course he calls them by their nicknames. And to call Alex Woodyard, he got totally confused. It was quite enjoyable.
Who's that?
You know, one thing with the finishers today, I noticed there's a lot of pace on the bench. If we're, last 20 minutes, if Portsmouth are getting a bit tired, they have a Sal, a Blade, Cosgrove, to come off the bench and attack them. That's quite exciting little weapon to have on the bench there, or a little card up your sleeve.
Yeah, but I think that's something that's going to be so important, because we saw it in our promotion season back in 2016 when we brought, then it was a front two, when we brought on, Bayo and Aziz. Today, I know they're not that level, but a Blade, Ayew, and all those players, Cosgrove, they're all players that can come on. And if you've had a back three that are tired from a very long physical game for 20 minutes, they've got Ayew running at them, and that's going to be a massive, massive problem for them, and that's where we could come good towards the end.
Definitely. So the substitutes are Saki Uwala, Nesta Guinness-Walker, Ethan Chislett, Egley Karja, Ayub Asal on the bench. You come off Denny on Saturday, Rob.
Yep.
I think that's literally now just giving a bit of a rest.
Yeah, we've got a lot of fixtures coming up, haven't we? Saturday, Tuesday. People forget he is still only 19. And sometimes at that age you are inconsistent as well. You're not always going to put in the best performances. So it makes sense to rotate it today, give Dapo a chance, who's been out. Personally, I was a bit gutted that Henry Lawrence picked up an injury, so I would have liked to have seen him be given a chance, because since he came back from the international duty, he's not really been given a run in the team, so I was a bit gutted he picked up that injury. But you know, we're going to need to use the squad over the coming weeks.
Definitely, and of course, the bench is depleted a little bit with the COVID we've got in terms of Ben Hennigan and also Annie Hartigan, who's obviously not well at the moment. The bench finished off with Terry Ablade. Terry took everyone, his friends, and Aaron Cosgrove on that. Cosgrove. Who's Cosgrove?
I don't think we've had a Cosgrove in a while.
I think that's a yacht.
New January signing.
I think it could well be, couldn't it?
I don't just say, I was telling one of my friends we signed a Fulham striker called Terry Ablade, and I was saying, he's so quick when I saw him. And they were like, even his name sounds quick. Like, made me laugh. Like.
But he had a very encouraging cameo on Saturday towards the end, didn't he? I know he only got 5-10 minutes towards the end, but he did very, very well. He looked quick, he looked physical, and he looked up for a battle. Yeah. And he's going to be a very good impact sub for us between now and the end of the season.
Yeah, and in his interview when he joined us, like the one thing he talked about is that Robbo said he wants to give us some of that freedom, which is quite a bold statement. I thought when where we are in the table, a lot of players won't feel like that they can play with that freedom, but I think that he'll be the kind of player who really benefits from that. Looking forward to seeing him tonight.
Cool, let's go and join Tom. Someone's got a cup of tea. What's going on? Here we go.
We're back. We have another Dons fan. Stuart, how long have you been a Dons fan for? Since 70 years. What season? What's your greatest memory as a Dons fan? Some of the playoffs, promotion, didn't come forward. The game at Staines, they got promoted.
And score prediction for tonight.
1-0 Dons.
Goal scorer?
Nine girls there.
Tom, sorry if I put the microphone. Tom's now disappeared. Tom, where you gone? Tom, if you want to go and find, maybe go on. Now this is a course where I'm going to try and make sure. Behave everybody. It's before the game. Oh dear, Tom. He's looking after your camera, but Tom is still there. Tom, if you want to go along, Tom's still ignoring me. I hope Tom is listening to me. But Joe, he adds a little talk. You can find someone else now. Go on then, you can go.
Fantastic, Nick. How long have you been a Dons fan for? Since 1986. Top memory. Well, apart from 88. Apart from 88, like the shirt. 20. Manchester Stadium. Wembley 2016. So many memories, but they stick out. Being back at Vale Lane, I missed Saturday's game, unfortunately, so it's the first time playing here for ages. The lights definitely absolutely full house. One fans have been singing already. We've been singing tonight. Thank you. You're asking my head or my heart? You're asking my heart, 3-0 Dons, Dabo hat-trick. You're asking my head, 1-1.
Tom, thank you very much. Come out of the cold. It looks really cold out there, George. Tom, you've disappeared again. I'm feeling you're not listening to me, Tom. Thank you very much. If you want to go, maybe go along the front of the mover stand and do some shots on that, Tom. You're doing a great job. It's lovely and warm in the studio as well. Thanks, mate. And we're going to go quickly into. So we've got a feature now of international fans, and this is Simon Tate out in the good old US of A. And love this. Enjoy it. And of course, it's a long way to California, to be fair, so let me quickly reload that bag in. George, building up really well there now, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're in that peak build-up now. We're getting closer and closer to kick-off. Portsmouth travelling in the numbers that they always do, no surprise there. Close to the sellout here in the Cherry Red Record Stadium, Plough Lane. Boise, obviously the atmosphere on Saturday was a big boost in that second half. How important do you think tonight the atmosphere is in what's going to probably be the loudest game here we've had so far?
You know what, there's something about Tuesday night games under the floodlights, so it's good that we've got a big team like Portsmouth. You know, there's going to be a right atmosphere here tonight, you know, great way to start 2022. And yeah, probably the loudest it's been, maybe arguably Bolton first game of the season, so I'm looking forward to it.
Anne-Marie, obviously atmosphere
Welcome
a big
to
part
Livermore,
today. You're the
California.
referee yourself. When you're out in the
45 miles east of the San Francisco Bay. It is a challenge watching your team every week 5,400 miles away from home. But hey, there's always a little reminder around the corner. Hi, I'm Simon Tate, AFC Wimbledon fan and resident Livermorean. Before the game, on a Saturday I like to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and head to downtown Livermore for a little pre-match ritual. There's 8 hours time difference between Northern California and the UK, so instead of a pre-match lunch / pint, I'm going for my pre-match donut and coffee. So now that I've had my coffee and donuts, it's time for the game. Come on, you Dons!
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, friends. Wherever you are joining us around the Womble Global Footballing Multiplex. This is Mike T welcoming you along to the broadcast via the world-famous, redoubtable and indefatigable Radio WDOM, brought to you in conjunction with your club media package, the I Follow Dons. And the AFC Wimbledon Odyssey of Sky Bet League One action for the 2021-22 season takes us on the relatively short... and it's an attempted lob over Nick Sanev, and it's Akin Benwa who's got it. Here still battling away forward, sends it into the centre. Rodoni with a header. Oh, it's Rodoni! It's Jack Rodoni with a header, and it's 2-1.
It's 9 a.m. and instead of a post-match ritual pint and dissection of the game with friends, I take my wife up a cup of coffee and I bore her to death with details of the game, and then I come downstairs and I burn off those donuts from earlier on.
Let me just get the thing off. So where are we now? We are 10 minutes to kick off, George.
Yeah,
It feels like we're here every day, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it does. It certainly feels like we've been here for several days in a row. But it's one of those things now, it's something special. Boise mentioned it, under the lights here at Plough Lane. It's something that feels very, very, very special. And it's just, there's something in the end, it could be one of those evenings today. Anne-Marie, what are you thinking, just looking out there? The players are just going in, the finishers are just going in as well. What are we expecting from this as a,
I missed them, George. You were a bit late telling me.
Yeah,
We've all gone in.
Everyone's gone in there, so we timed that brilliantly. So, what are we expecting from tonight as a spectacle?
I think, you're absolutely right. Any match against Portsmouth, home or away, is always a big occasion. We think back to even the ones at Kings Meadow with Terrell Thomas, that 94th minute winner. We've had some really great battles against them. So club v club, that brings that extra element to it. Where we are in the table and where they are, as there's a lot riding on the match itself. So I expect there'll be a lot of energy out there. Hopefully no nerves. I think it's about playing with that freedom and that confidence. That's obviously for Robbo to manage, and I trust that he can bring that message through.
Do you know what's interesting? Sorry, Anna, just to say.
Sure.
I look behind me and we've got such a thing where everyone just comes in late, doesn't it? Yeah. It reminds me of Blackburn Rovers. Like Blackburn Rovers, everyone just coming from the hills. really late. You can see up the hills, like go down. But it's really weird this place. It fills up like really late, doesn't it?
Well, I think that's because we've got such a brilliant job done by Joe Palmer and the board on the fan zone behind the south stand.
He's got the sick bucket. I can't believe that.
Obviously with the Speedway bar, obviously with those food and drink open with the food and drink outlets as well. Everyone's is so good to have a good time behind there. It's almost, the football match just, why be in there an hour and a half before kick-off? Stay, have a drink, have a bit of food, and then come in just as kick-off's approaching.
I think when I was coming in as well, just coming through Wimbledon and even out into Rains Park, there were people in bars and restaurants everywhere all wearing Wimbledon kits. Lots of people making a bit of an evening of it. And like you said, it's going to be a spectacle tonight. I just hope that the performance on the pitch matches that. It's always a good vibe. I'm pretty sure that the fan with the bell is already here. I think I can just about hear him in the background. But I'm excited. I feel positive.
Leaving Fratton Park earlier this year, he walked in front of my car. Missed opportunity.
George, I can't agree with you on that thing in front of a live TV audience. No. Tom Davies, get Tom a proper mic. Yeah, we'll do. I think it's because he was trying to be flash and wear his AirPods, but we all sort it out. But we just pretend we could all hear him on that side of it. Oh God, yeah. Mark Hendries. Oh God, that bell. I might put my audio volume on iPhone to 0. And just quickly, also there we've got where are we? Mr. Banjak, great story from Livermore. If you are abroad, I've approached quite a few people living outside the UK, and we've got lots of them. So if you're interested in being on our international fan feature, please, Simon, thank you very much. I must admit, I watched it with interest because it was just totally different, and I saw loads of blue skies, which meant it was sunny, which was quite depressing. On that.
Do you remember when before the Wembley playoff, they did a tracker of where all the fans were tuning in from to watch the playoff final all over the world. So they're out there.
Yeah, I've had people from Brazil, Colombia, Thailand. It's just mad when you think about that sort of side of it. So we'll get them recording and stuff like that. We'll leave you with the pitch view. Obviously the team will be coming out very soon. Just say, actually, as we're wrapping up now, if you want to send me your prediction or send us your predictions, and we can have a look. Tom is actually joining us here, Tom. Tom, how did you find it out there? Let's bring Tom in. Tom, how did you find it? Come and join us.
I'm back in the warm now, yeah.
Tom, could you hear me out there, by the way?
I had an AirPod in, and I could just about hear you. It was a bit it's difficult, but could you hear me more importantly?
Yeah, some here and there. We obviously, it's live TV, isn't it? So we're working. The pictures are really good.
Fantastic.
I got a bit gutted. Do you know what? I had a pie earlier. Great pie. Is it Mr. Pie out there? Is that what it's
called?
Pie. My pie, of course it's my pie. £9, 9 English pounds, beef pie, mash. You're not hungry, are you? You're making me hungry now.
Well, no, I'm going to have to go now. I'm going to miss kick-off.
You're making us hungry straight.
What's the atmosphere down there like?
I thought it was really good. I think everyone's excited. It's Tuesday night, game under the lights. You can't really get much better. I think it adds kind of a level to Plough Lane. That level of, it's just, it's beautiful. So
we're going to leave you as we do that. Yeah, so prediction-wise, what we're thinking, George, I know you're going to think we're going to win.
I think it's going to be a very tough game. I think it could be a 2-1 win, but my gut says draw 1-1. Anne-Marie?
That's quick. Sorry, George, you went so quickly there. I thought it would be longer than that, Anne-Marie.
So yours was 1-1. I will go. I reckon, I'm feeling optimistic that we will nick it 1-0.
You know what? I was going to go 1-1, but I don't want to agree with George, so I'm going to have to go 2-2 now, aren't I? I think it'll be a score draw.
Where we got? Sorry, just before you go, Jagger Don's watching from Orange County, California. Where is that?
Liam Trotter's.
Moving on. Moving on. I'm not getting myself in trouble here. Not getting myself in trouble on that one. Paul Healy's after sunset in England. Got quite a few coming through. There's loads of people. I'm hoping you're enjoying it. Post match, we are. So as soon as the final whistle goes here at Plough Lane tonight, we'll be on. Unless we got beat, might be about a minute just to cry a little while. Well, did I get your prediction? Sorry.
Yeah, no, I said I can't agree with George, so I'm going to have to go for a 2-2 draw instead of a 1-1 draw. But I think it'll be a score draw today.
Tom?
It's not often I look at another team and think, wow, they're quite strong, but that imminent going straight into the team of Tyler Walker. He's going to be a fantastic League One striker, if not Championship level. So I think he'll be a challenge at the back, especially without Hennigan. But can't not be optimistic and go 2-1 Duns.
No, I agree with you. It's a tough one. It's a tough one because they've got. The only thing we can really hope is they don't mix too well at the moment. How are we feeling? We also got some COVID injuries, haven't we, and stuff. A little bit of a gutter considering this game went because of COVID. How do you think? Do you think that will galvanise the team, Anne-Marie? Because we have got a few key players missing.
I think that's all we can do.
It's got to do that way, isn't it?
I think it's just got to be the option. We've got five key players out. Some of them coming back in the next couple of weeks, but for tonight, we've just got the squad out there tonight can do the best they can. And the depth of the squad is brilliant, so I've got full faith behind everyone.
You know what? Whilst we've got players out, it does give others opportunity to stake a claim. Like Marsh hasn't had a chance this season, really, and I think he played well against Morecambe.
Sorry, Rob.
Yeah, no.
Coming out. Do you know what? By the way, can I just say this? I did say to Robbo that he should do this every game, and he said he didn't think he should do it. And I was like, it's like worshipping. And now he does it all the time. He comes out and does it all. Do you like that, Tom?
I think it's great. I think it shows a bit of what the club's about the fans. Robbo is worshipped. Especially that South stand goes absolutely mental whenever they see him. So
I think that was Simon Bassett came out as well at the same time, just there with Robbo. So he just got a good.
How did we miss that link?
I was trying to bring it in, but you didn't give me a chance at the Portsmouth.
How did we miss that link? Simon Bassett coming back. It's nice in a way, isn't it? Hey, look, he did a lot for the club, didn't he, and stuff like that. As long as he doesn't enjoy his night too much while he's here. Okay, we're just going to literally go through until the final. They come out, so the team are coming out now. Like I say, we will be here after the game. Let me just quickly bring that in a little, actually wrong way, let me bring it in a little bit for you. They're just coming out now, you can't see anybody. Yeah, I've just zoomed in too much. They are here, I promise. Let's just go back out again. There we are. Like I say, enjoy this post-match straight after the final whistle. Thanks for joining us, and let's hope for a favourable result.